Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. So tonight we have the energy of the Hanged Man. Don't worry, I know the Hanged Man usually is kind of shown as a scary card in media, like in movies and TV shows and stuff like that. The Hanged Man is actually something that I feel like is quite empowering. It is when we come to the realization that things in our life maybe are not working out the way that we want them to. There might be aspects of our life or even aspects of our own self, our personality, our coping mechanisms, the way that we react to things. When we come to a moment where we are like, okay, well, this is not working for me, right? This doesn't help with my ultimate goal. This is not keeping me on my path or, focused on the work that I want to do. So we must sacrifice something. We have to let go of something. We have to, sometimes decide, before we get to that tower moment where everything just kind of falls apart by itself, right? We have to decide, like, this is not, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want you in my life anymore. I don't, I can't do this job any longer. I need something else, whatever it is. So when we see this card, I'm always excited because it's like, okay, what do we get to get rid of this time? And also, although I am not, I'm not affiliated with any system of belief or religion or anything like that. I'm super interested in all religions and different traditions and things that people practice, rituals, so on. And we happen to be in Lent right now. Okay, let me get around to it. We're in Lent. So this is all about giving stuff up, right? Now also I think we're still in Ramadan, are we? I don't know. I maybe, let me see. Now Ramadan, I don't know exactly what everything is, but I know there's a lot of fasting going on. Yes, until the 29th. So we are still in Ramadan as well. So, this really is a period of time that is about, letting go of things, not only that don't serve us, but they might run our lives, right? For me right now, I'm struggling with soda. I like soda. I love soda. I drink diet sodas, 2 or 3 a day. And when my husband, shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot, said, Lenor, why don't we stop with soda for Lent? And we're going to lift up and see these tea leaves. You know what? I realized in that moment that I did not want to stop drinking soda. And actually, soda seems to have like a little bit of a hold on me, which I don't like. I don't like the feeling of thinking I need something, right? So it is a good time to be letting go of stuff. And especially the things that really, they touch like a nerve, right? So we'll see. We'll see if I quit with the sodas or not, but I'm going to try to be proactive about it. All right. So I want to say thank you. I know this is kind of a long intro, but yeah, I'm seeing these images and my goodness, sometimes we have, plates or bowls or cups or whatever of tea leaves that are just so expressive, and this one seems to be. Now over here we have, it looks like 1, 2, 3 people, okay, maybe 4. maybe 2 children and 2 adults. These both seem like feminine, very much have mother and lunar. You can see the heads almost kind of look like crescent moons. Very lunar energy. Okay. And actually, as I'm looking at this, it looks like there's also a baby. So there's a child here who looks like maybe it would be a toddler, a little older, but close to toddler age, holding a heart. You can see the heart right here. Okay, here's the arm and they're holding the heart. Now up here, there's the lady holding a baby, and behind another lady standing next to another child over here. Now we also have a fish that's just kind of hanging out underneath. Okay, so I almost wonder if you were raised in a household where multiple families kind of live together, or you're very, like, they live next door. Maybe it was like your mom's sister, or maybe your grandmother or auntie, or, you know, somebody that feels like they're from the family. It could be a good friend, but I think that this is more like a, you know, family living next to each other to help raise the kids. You know, maybe living in the same household because of finances, and also maybe just like living with their family, right? So I think a lot of this had to do with money, though, because we have that fish underneath everybody. The fish is about the resources and money that we have or we need. So I feel like maybe you grew up this way. Maybe you're living this way right now. Maybe you're living with your family. You know, you have your kids and they have their kids, and everybody lives in the same house or on the same block or whatever it is. But there is a real sense of togetherness, and I think that this is really important. I feel like it's a big part of your identity to be family oriented, to be very involved with. And it feels like ultimately you probably have a pretty large family. Maybe not your direct family, but your extended family. And I don't know if this is like something that's going on right now, or if this is something that you think about, you dream about, you know, growing up with your siblings and your cousins, and, you know, running the mom and auntie in the kitchen, and, you know, they're yelling at you, stop running in the house, and, you know, that kind of thing. And just kind of nostalgic, sentimental about all of this. But I feel like, you know, it's a good reminder that we need to stop and just look around sometimes. We need to, like, really try to pause all of that stuff, the anxiety, the responsibilities, your list of things to accomplish today, you know, and this week, and this month, and this year, and so on and so forth. Sometimes we need to pause all of that, find a way, close it off, and just be here. Look around. Do you have more than you ever imagined? Do you have so much love in your life? And yeah, some turmoil and conflict, but a good life, you know, relatively. Have you done more than you ever expected? Did things turn out a little bit differently, but still good, you know? I think it's important for us to really look at things and think, yeah, I never saw myself here. I never imagined that I would be able to, you know, live this long, or have all these people, you know, grandkids and great-grandkids, and beloved relationships, and laughing and crying together, and, you know, the joys and the woes, and all of this. And I think, you know, we have to remind ourselves that even when things feel like they're not ever going to get better, or, you know, we're just waiting for the other shoe to drop, you know, or, just like things are good. Everything is good, but like I can't figure out how to enjoy it, how to let myself relax for a moment and just be at ease in the moment. But I think it's so important. And I think this is really this little, it's like an idyllic image, right, of a family together. And so I feel like that's the big work here, is allowing yourself to really take it all in, you know, for what it is, not some romanticized version, and also not looking for all the cracks and the little flaws and the who didn't do this, and, you know, I gotta do this, and I don't have time, and, you know, all of that, letting that quiet itself a little bit and just being right there in the moment. Now, we have the crawdad over here, or maybe it is the lobster or crawdad. Now, this is symbolic of melancholy. So I feel like this maybe is attached to a melancholy that you're going through right now. What is melancholy? It is kind of like depression. It's like a maybe not super intense depression, but it's like almost like if your baseline is depressive, right? And you're just melancholy, blue, like the world feels a little bit gray, right? Just a little bit bleak. And, you know, just kind of in that, I don't know. I think I carry a very melancholy forward energy. I know on the readings I sound super happy usually, and I'm smiling, and I am happy and I am smiling. But just generally, I am a melancholy person, you know? And people, when I was in high school, they used to call me Daria, right? If you remember that cartoon or whatever. And I do. I kind of am the same kind of vibe a little bit. And so, or Eeyore, maybe. But kind of that energy. But then, like, when you wake up in it, it's like those first days of spring, right? Or the end of winter, when it's a little bit warm and everything's starting to melt. But not a lot, just a little bit. There's still ice, but you can see things starting to melt away, right? And they're transmuting into something else. They're going about their journey. They have many places to be, many people to see, many things to do. And so I feel like for you it is like this unfreezing that's starting to happen. I feel like you've been a little bit melancholy, yeah, and you're starting to really notice it. Like, it might have even been that you didn't realize that you were kind of depressed. And, you know, now it's like it's starting to, you're starting to realize I want to do something else because this is kind of stale, stagnant, whatever. And as that lifts, I think you realize, yeah, I was a little more depressed than I realized, you know. Now, we also have up here, we have a person right here. You can see the head, the body, and then we have another person over here. It looks like to me like you are maybe in a relationship or being pursued by somebody that feels quite immature. Like a pest almost. I feel like for you, it's almost like you feel like you are parenting this person, or like you're the one that has to always be the one that's like in charge or serious about getting things done. And, you know, I think overall, it's quite tiring, right? Like, I didn't sign up to take care of somebody else. Listen, we all have moments in our life and within our relationships where somebody has to pull more of the weight. It happens. Hopefully it's balanced. So sometimes when you're sick, I'm going to take care of you. And then, you know, when you start to get better and I start to get sick, you'll take care of me, right? But then, you know, and we've all probably had a relationship or two like this. We find ourselves with somebody who is like blissfully unaware, like intentionally naive, or what is that called? Weaponized incompetence, right? Like unwilling to learn how to do simple things because they know somebody else will do them for them, right? And having that dynamic in a relationship or within like a friendship or with somebody who is trying to court you, no way. No way. So I feel like for you, this is one of the big things. I feel like you're just really tired of it. You're not into it. So I see this kind of being something that is going to change pretty quickly here. Okay, so we have, so we have an umbrella, we have a bird, we have a flower. And then when we turn this over, it looks like we have a more like a stork, maybe like a flamingo. But the thing that I got here is that there's somebody in your life, and this maybe is your child, like an adult child, or maybe somebody you helped raise. I'm not exactly sure, but what it feels like to me is this person had a lot of fertility issues, right? Like they were trying, wasn't happening, right? And I feel like there was like a lot of sadness around this. Now, I feel like there is kind of that little miracle happening. It is beginning. If they're not already pregnant, I feel like they're going to be very soon. So this feels like a big blessing. Now, I'm not saying this is you, although it could be. I don't know. But I do feel like this is somebody very close to you. Maybe like a really good work friend, maybe family member, grown-up child, possibly. But it feels like one of those pregnancies where everybody is just elated. Okay? So that feels like it is coming soon. Okay? Let's see. We also have the snail right here. You can see here's the body of the snail and then the shell up here. So taking things slow. That's the big thing. Taking things slow. Allowing yourself to be in the moment. And I think this all comes back to that. Learning to be in the moment. Okay, so all of these people have their hands out like this. Like they're waiting for something, they're asking for something. I just have to say, I feel like, I feel like there's just this real big energy of being so burnt out. And I'm kind of laughing because I feel like a lot of us are feeling this way. You know, I have a 4-year-old, so I'm around moms a lot, and I feel like a lot of moms very burnt out right now. I also, my last reading, similar. It's like this, I feel like so overwhelmed by people needing something from you all the time. You know, and if you are mom or dad, mom, dad, you know, all day long, all day. But I feel like it's like you need a little reset. And I see a person over here kind of praying or meditating. I see another person over here. It looks like they're praying. So I feel like for you, it really is such a helpful thing when you are in your faith, when you are in your spirituality, when you are partaking in your practices, whatever those are, if that is praying, if that is meditating, active imagination, journaling, keeping, altars or making offerings or whatever it is, going to church, mass, temple, mosque, the synagogue, whatever, wherever it is, or, there's a lot of non-Abrahamic religions as well. But yes, temples mostly. It's just, blanket term temple. But yeah, I just feel like for you getting back into that routine, or if you are still in it, really leaning further into it, maybe adding some more stuff or an extra, meditation session every couple days, or, whatever you have time for. But I feel like this is going to be one of the things that alleviates like that annoyance, that burnout, that, I just, as I'm looking through this, it's like, I feel like you're very nostalgic for the way the life used to be, the dynamic of having family and everybody kind of, getting along and going about their lives and all that. And to now, which maybe you're still with your family and maybe, for the most part, it's very similar, but I feel like you're having a relationship issue or somebody who is pursuing you, coming to this realization that you're very tired of putting yourself out so much, of, taking care of so many people and constantly having to do things that, you have your own priorities, and those kind of get put on the back burner because you're doing so many things for other people. And it seems to me like these people, just based on what the tea leaves look like, they don't have a lot of boundaries. They don't know when to stop demanding from you. So I feel like, being in this place where it's like, okay, well, now I have to disengage. I need some time for myself. And I feel like as you are doing that, leaning into that spiritual work, that your religious work, your spiritual work, your self-work, if you're somebody who's in an initiate program or grade system or, anything like that. But getting refocused, right? I think that's the big thing, and that's going to be really helpful. Now, we also have the letter H and the number 5. H5. And it feels like we have somebody who has transitioned already. That means they have passed on. Very close, feels like a masculine energy. They passed on while they were relatively young. I would imagine in their middle-aged. And it just, they're saying hi. Hi. I almost feel like this is somebody that didn't talk a lot, but they were very warm, very kind. And I just keep seeing the eyes, very brown eyes. And I don't know, just this little smile. I almost wonder if this is like your older brother, or maybe somebody you dated when you were like a teenager or in your 20s maybe. But they pass too soon. But they visit you. And I almost kind of wonder if at times like you feel them, but you kind of talk yourself out of like believing that it's them that's coming to, visit. So, I definitely feel like they're around. Okay. And they want to be recognized. Now, we are just going to do our lucky numbers today because I'm running late. I did not realize the time. It's 31, okay? 31 is the first one. 18 and 100. All right. Okay. Pisces, I love you. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Other than that, I gotta go. I love you, I love you, I love you. We will talk soon in a few days. Good night.